wanna live a life.
That guy did, oh my gosh! Surprise, motherfucker! What? Oh my god, you're fucking crazy! What is up, you smexy individuals? My name is Birdman778 and welcome to another thematic build video. Today, we are going over my new Flak build called All-for-One Flak. So this is the finale of our My Hero Academia inspired builds. I'm actually super excited to finally kind of cap this off. This will be something we're going to be continuing with all of our different builds thematically for now on. So one for each different character, trying to kind of make sure we change what kind of person we're doing for that build. So we did the Bakugo Zane, we did the one for all Amara, the Endeavor and Shoto Moes, and now finally the All-for-One Flak. Now I was kind of trying to figure out exactly what we want to do with this build, just because Flak being the pet guy, I figured we'd do Koji Koda as the kind of the inspiration, but unfortunately I just didn't really feel like I could make the theme work. It was other than just pets. Koji really doesn't have anything else to him that really makes him stand out in a way. So I was kind of sitting in chat trying to figure out exactly what we need to do, and luckily one of my community members, Codman 830, came in, made this suggestion. I was like, hell yeah, that's a really good idea. So essentially for this build, it's going to be a gamma build where we're going to be essentially boosting up our pet while also boosting ourselves. Kind of going down the gear that we're doing for this build though. We have a fire light show with gamma, a rad focused flipper with gamma, a corrosive, obviously corrosive reflux with gamma, and then a focus shock root. Different other items that we're using an Oh God shield with ASE shock and shock resistance, a bounty hunter with weapon crit, weapon damage, weapon cool action skill cooldown rate, a hunter seeker with bonus rad, but it's a corrosive version, and then a pearl. Now specifically why these certain pieces of gear, if you know All-for-One, he is somebody who wants all the best stuff for himself. He only gets all the best quirks for himself, and he makes them kind of work in this weird kind of conglomerate. So I figured we'd do that for Flak as well. First off, all of these weapons are pretty much DLC 3 except for the reflux, but they have kind of shown themselves to be some of the best weapons. So the light show, I picked fire, kind of take that fire element. The flipper, right now I would argue it's probably the absolute best SMG in the game. Might be the best weapon in the game, but I decided to put rad on it, so we're able to kind of focus that rad element. Reflux, easily the best shotgun. I mean, it's by a mile, but also it has a corrosive focus on it. And then the root, phenomenal sniper rifle, and then we're doing the focus shock on it just so we get that shock element. Get one of each of the elements in there, kind of showing off All-for-One, grabbing one of everything, keeping it for himself. The Old God shield, I like the shock extra damage. I like the actual the damage resistance, the extra capacity, the recharge rate, something that's kind of all around good. But the idea of Old God I kind of like, just because if you know the lore behind All-for-One, he essentially was an old god in a way of the My Hero Academia world. So I just thought it kind of just fit the build in general. This bounty hunter, I just like the extra boost that it gives Flak throughout the fight. Hunter seeker, this really doesn't do a whole lot for us. It's more just a basic grenade. I really don't see myself shooting a whole lot of grenades throughout this build in general. I don't really see the point. So it's more of a, if our gamma ends, we need some extra rad damage for any of these other 3 weapons other than the flipper. It's helpful. And then the pearl, just extra damage. I mean, pearl of ineffable knowledge. I mean, that kind of just fits the idea of All-for-One as well, just because somebody who wants everything, all the knowledge, everything. So I thought it was kind of cool. Aesthetically, we went for the blackout. I did the red just because in the show itself, it shows his hand. It goes black and it has these red lines that go through it. I thought it was just kind of neat. And then we just did the skull face just because it kind of matches his mysterious looking visor that he has on his face. So skill tree wise, we really wanted to go down mainly Gamma, just because I like the fact that Gamma boosts up our pet, makes them stronger. We made the name of our pet Nomu, just because if you know the show, All For One has these creatures called nomus that essentially have different abilities, different quirks that they have either been taken from other heroes, or it's heroes that have just been transformed into these terrible creatures. So we wanted to boost them up a lot in that. So Ferocity, definitely a really great one. We make sure the health stays up. So Who Rescued Hugh, a lot of Frenzy. But on this tree itself, I wanted to get Dominance in there. Why do we want to do Dominance? Because the fact that, again, with this Nomu idea, that All For One is able to take people and essentially make them part of his crew, turn them into Nomu, stuff like that. Be on the battlefield, hit an enemy, and they become your thing to mess around with, your ally. So I thought that was kind of an interesting addition to the build. Red skill tree, pretty much, just all the way down, get into Megavore. Nothing really different in this other than the fact that we're not really focusing on Ambush Predator or Second Intention. But we did pick the Scorcher Spider Ant. Why? Because it has the most damage out of everybody. It's you're gonna see throughout this build. There's a time where I am shooting Trant with the Reflux and it's not doing a whole lot of damage, and then the Spider Ant drops his lava pool on him and his health just starts just tanking. It's definitely a super big advantage for Flak right now, and I'm really hoping that once they kind of figure out his health in a way, keeping the Scorcher's damage higher is going to help out with just overall just like damage with staying alive. But we didn't put anything in a green tree. Green tree could be something to help us out with different skills like All My BFFs, the self-repairing system, stuff like that, where it's keeping your health up. That tends to be an issue with the build. It's kind of just this glass cannon, just all out shoot damage, pet has damage, you have damage kind of build. Which again fits the theme of All For One, the fact that he's a dying old man who has all this strength, has all these quirks and everything, but has to have a respirator to keep himself alive, and also is eventually defeated by our favorite hero, All Might. In regards to what Mayhem modifiers we're using for this build, I use Speed Demon for the extra speed, obviously Healy Avenger, just because it's the best medium one all around to get that extra health. Drone Ranger, I like Drone Ranger a lot just because even though it might be healing an enemy, the heals aren't really that big enough to really justify anything, and it's also an easy way to get yourself back up if you get knocked down. With this build, you tend to get knocked down. Again, it is a glass cannon kind of build, so being able to have something to knock yourself back up is really great. Post-mortem, the best thing probably buddy system. But it is a absolute pain in the butt to re-roll modifiers in this game, and this ended up being the best. I got 3 out of 4 and I was pretty done with that. But buddy system would be definitely a really great one to do. But with death though, just note that whenever you're charging an enemy, just shooting them, there's a really good chance at that time it's going to be the one that death shows up, so you might get hit by it. You're going to have to try to find somebody to get yourself pulled up. Maybe get the go down green tree a little bit, get yourself the one where your pet's gonna pick you back up, something like that. I don't know, but again, for my build specifically, glass cannon, all out damage from you and your pet. Heals can come later. So as you can see us going through this build, again, it is a lot of damage output. Nothing really is able to stand up to us, which I kind of like. This has been a fun build to make. It's nothing new, it's nothing different. There's no different combo that we did that was different than anybody else, but at the same time, I really like the fact that there's a lot of damage. We're able to kind of take all these different weapons, whether it's a pistol, an SMG, a shotgun, or a sniper, and just outright just blow everyone out of the water with it. I like the fact that our pet's able to do a lot of damage and be a huge benefit to us while we're on the battlefield. Whether it's you getting knocked down and then the Spider Ant's lava pool kills somebody is really nice. That or it's able to just kind of tank some damage for you while you're able to sit back, recharge, and move on. But in general, I mean, it's been fun to kind of do these thematic builds. Honestly, the process of finally figuring out who is going to fit what exact character or theme has been the best part. Again, I took like 2 days trying to figure out how to make Koji Koda a viable build for Flak, and then within seconds, All For One came up, and I was like, wait, that's perfect. That makes so much sense. We're able to do this. It looks awesome. But guys, make sure you're staying up to date on everything going on. I stream on Twitch Mondays, Wednesday, Fridays, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. We got some other streams sprinkled in between there on the weekends, so make sure you're staying up to date on my social media. Twitter.com/Birdman778, Instagram.com/BirdmanGraham. Then obviously here on YouTube, YouTube.com/Birdman778. Make sure you give a thumbs up on the video. Leave a comment down below. Again, who's your favorite My Hero Academia character? And what's your most excited part about the upcoming series? I've been seeing a lot of spoilers, which are making me pretty excited, but at the same time, I'm trying to stay back as much as I can with it as an avid fan. But guys, thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you Smexy people have a wonderful day.